Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
A tornado tears through a Genesee County community in the Grand Blanc area overnight, knocking down trees, knocking out power, and rupturing gas lines. Thank you for joining us this noon. I'm Rhonda Walker.
And I'm Kim DeJulio in for Jason Colthorpe this noon. So that tornado touched down in Grand Blanc, which is located just south of Flint. And it's only the second ever February tornado here in southeast Michigan.
So it is rare. Nick Monticelli joins us now on the ground talking to residents all morning long as they survey the damage. Nick?
Good afternoon. The weather continues to be a challenge out here. It is getting colder. It was raining. Now we have snow on our hands. For these crews that are trying to begin the cleanup process, you can see this tornado took down multiple power poles and power lines, knocking out power to 15,000 people off the bat. You can see down here further on Reed Road, utility crews and other crews trying to just move debris and trees out of the way. And then the worst hit is this industrial warehouse right at the corner of Dort Highway and Reed. We're told this section of it that was hit is a janitorial supply warehouse, but it seems like there's so much more inside of that building. Again, the tornado started or happened at about 1:20 this morning, right in the middle of the night, hitting this warehouse, hitting homes, hitting neighborhoods. But fortunately, there are no injuries, at least none that have been reported to Grand Blanc officials, whether it's the township or the city. The National Weather Service will be out here conducting a survey to look at the damage to get some more data on the tornado itself. But again, this intersection at Dorton Reed, probably the hardest hit. But take a look at this, an apple orchard property that was really decimated by this, multiple trees down all around the home. The home, though, somehow saved.
And I went running down to the basement as fast as we could, and then it was just, the house was just, just shaking, and I thought I was gonna die. Honestly, I thought there was no way.
As we come back out here, something I'd like you to listen to for a moment. That sound off in the distance, according to officials here, is the sound of an open gas line. Something else they have been working on to shut off. So many different challenges that keep layering themselves one on top of another, trying to get this area cleaned up and get Dort Highway open again. We're in Grand Blanc Township. Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
All right, Nick, get to somewhere safe, please. Thank you for that report. The National Weather Service says a tornado also touched down in Marshall, Michigan. Now, that's a 20-minute drive just east of Battle Creek. So far, there have been no reports of injuries. And as we mentioned, something like this in February, super rare.
Thank goodness there haven't been any reported injuries, Ashley. But man, you see that damage there. It was really packing quite a punch.
Absolutely, and especially when it happens during the overnight and you can't see what's coming. And so there were the two confirmed tornadoes across the state of Michigan, a third potential one that we're waiting on the National Weather Service to confirm or not. But we've been focusing a lot on Grand Blanc that you just saw Nick Monticelli out at. And that was a radar confirmed tornado. So we still don't have the rating from the National Weather Service yet. But meteorologists look at a couple different radar products to determine whether a tornado is on the ground. One was the velocity, which is our wind detector. You see green and red, which it would indicate that you have rotation. You have forward and backward motion from the radar site. You then compare that to the debris detector, in which we're looking for a debris ball in the same place as the rotating winds. And you have it right here in Grand Blanc, both matching up, same time frame, around 1:18, 1:19 in the morning. So we can confirm, just based on our radar tools, without even looking at that damage that Nick had there, that there was a confirmed tornado on the ground. Now we're shifting our attention to this wind advisory and these winds ushering in brutally cold air. Wind advisory till 7 p.m. for all of southeastern Michigan. But check this out. We are at 33 in Troy, 35 in Detroit, Ludington and Big Rapids in the teens. When we put our 24-hour temperature change on, kind of averaging out anywhere between 30 to 45 degrees cooler right now than where we were this time yesterday. Winds are picking up. We already have gusts over 45 miles per hour in Flint and some snow coming down on the west side of the state. Quick look at the rest of your afternoon. Tumbling temperatures. We'll have more on this forecast coming up in a few minutes. But of course, you can track the huge change in temperatures with our Forewarned Weather app. And it's a great way to get those severe weather alerts sent straight to your phone, just like you would have last night. So download it in the App Store.
Well, I just don't even want to go outside.
I know. It's not good. It's such a difference from this morning.
It is. The Michigan primary election results are in, and it moves the race for president one step closer to a possible rematch between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump.
Here we go again. On the Republican side, Trump received just under 70% of the vote to beat former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, who finished with just under 30%.
And on the Democratic ticket, we see President Biden winning and receiving 81% of the votes. However, the major story is with critics upset with President Biden's handling of the Israel-Hamas war and their effort to get people to vote uncommitted. Over 100,000 people did so for 13% of the vote.
Leaders of the Listen to Michigan campaign, which pushed for that uncommitted vote, held a press conference this morning. They say they sent a strong message last night.
To demonstrate that Gaza is not some distant land and where innocent men, women, and children are dying. But these are family members and friends that are meaningful to not only us here in Dearborn who are losing family members on a daily basis, but it means something to Michiganders and a broad coalition that looks like the very fabric of America.
That's the mayor of Dearborn right there. Again, just over 101,000 Michiganders voted uncommitted. Now, to put that into perspective for you, Biden won Michigan back in 2020 by about 154,000 votes. Voters were not just casting ballots on the presidential candidates. There were also several local issues and millages on the ballot. We have a full list of the results for you right now at clickondetroit.com.
And now to the drama over who's chairing the Michigan Republican Party. Christina Caramo is officially out. Judge Joseph Rossi, he ruled that there were enough votes to unseat Caramo in a special meeting of the party's state committee. The decision means former state representative Pete Hoekstra takes over the lead Michigan's GOP. And we talked with him last night, and among his first priorities is uniting the party.
And over in Northville Downs is suing Plymouth Township over relocation efforts.
So the lawsuit accuses Plymouth Township's supervisor, Kirk Heiss, and economic director, Gary Heitman, of persuading the owners of the racetrack to move to Plymouth Township. The lawsuit alleges that the two told the business owners that the Township Planning Commission and Board of Trustees would absolutely vote to approve the relocation. Well, that approval has still yet to come, and we are working to reach out to the parties involved in this lawsuit. We hope to have a report for you with some answers beginning on Local 4 News tonight at 6. Today, Detroit's police chief, James White, and other law enforcement leaders are heading to Washington, D.C. They have a meeting scheduled with President Biden, and one of the topics that they are expected to cover is Detroit's historic crime reductions in 2023. We recently told you Detroit ended 2023 with the fewest homicides in 57 years.
President Biden's son, Hunter, is facing critics today as he testifies behind closed doors before two House committees, both looking for evidence to impeach his father. For months, Hunter Biden refused subpoenas to testify in private. House Republicans claim the Bidens used the president's brand to profit off of business dealings. Both Bidens deny the claim.
Lawmakers might have a solution to avoiding a partial government shutdown by Friday.
House Speaker Mike Johnson's office says he's now open to a continuing resolution. The plan would keep the 4 government agencies that could close after Friday open for another week now. The funding deadline for everything else would be on March 22nd. Today is the first day the House can vote on spending legislation since representatives are back from a recess. Well, we still have plenty ahead for you today.
Yeah, we certainly do, including a major recall affecting Toyota Tacoma drivers. See what's prompting the recall of over 300,000 trucks.
And negotiations are pumping the brakes on reports that they are close to a hostage deal in Gaza. Where things stand as both parties race to get a deal done before the start of the Muslim holiday, Ramadan.